So you're trying to figure out whether or not you should be shipping via FBM, fulfilled by merchant, or FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, then this video is for you. I'm going to break down the 10 reasons why you likely should be doing FBA, and a couple of reasons why you typically wouldn't want to do FBA. So reason number one out of all of this is the Prime badge. The Prime badge that gives the glorious stamp of approval from Amazon showing for Amazon Prime buyers that this is how you can buy. It's instant credibility. It increases conversion rates on average 5 to 10% comparatively to products that do not have that Prime badge. Now, you can get the Prime badge with FBM through seller fulfilled Prime, but it's a very, very tricky system to stay and maintain. So that is the number one and first reason that most people are going to recommend doing FBA over FBM. Reason number two, buy box advantage. Amazon actually just recently changed how featured offer and buy box works. And so if you are somebody who's not a brand owner, you're a wholesaler, you're a reseller, you might be wondering, should I actually be sending into FBA or comparatively to FBM? Well, and the answer here is that recently they updated the feature offer eligibility requirements, right? And with these differences now, FBA is going to have such a strategic advantage over FBM at all times, just because of how the featured offer is now being chosen, where your eligibility requirements are already out the window, so they're just ranking all of the typical things they would for FBA versus FBM, as well as all of the other features for resellers and what featured offer will be showing first and foremost. The third one, which actually goes somewhat into this as well when it comes to wholesalers and resellers, is the idea that Amazon handles your customer service for you. Now, there is the aspect that you can pay Amazon to handle customer service for FBM, but that also means that you're adding an additional charge on top. But anybody who's ever been selling FBM knows how annoying the customer service can be. You're actually, even under your account health, graded on the customer service, where you have your order defect rate, you have your negative feedback, your A to Z claims, and your chargeback claims. All of these are different things that can hurt your overall performance on Amazon and can actually ding your account entirely, making it so that you can't sell certain products. And so this is one of the major reasons why I do recommend, because you don't have to staff somebody for it. You don't have to pay Amazon for it. You don't have to do anything. Amazon just does it already because you are doing FBA. So that is going to be typically next reason or third reason as to why. Now, the fourth reason that we're going to be looking at is the faster shipping times. Now, Amazon Prime offers and FBA offers 1 to 2 day shipping, sometimes same day shipping, depending on where the product is, for pretty much every single product in their catalog. Now, many people might say, well, I can also technically do 1 to 2 day shipping, but the reality is that it's going to be a lot cheaper for you to do it through FBA. Typically speaking, most brands aren't going to be able to house enough inventory all around the US so that every single state, every single county can get that 1 to 2 day shipping. Whereas if you send into FBA, Amazon will disperse your inventory to all of its different warehouses so that everyone can always have that 2 day shipping with FBA. Now, reason number 5 is a bit of an odd one, but I think it's one that applies to many different people in the e-commerce space nowadays, and that would be multi-channel fulfillment. For those that are uninitiated, Amazon has the ability to fulfill pretty much every other sales channel outside of Amazon through their multi-channel fulfillment and their supply chain services. This basically means that you can utilize your Amazon inventory that you're already selling through via FBA to sell on your Shopify store, to sell on Walmart, to sell on TikTok, and pretty much every other platform out there. They will act as a third-party logistics center for you, as well as actually offering still FBA rates, FBA on Amazon, and you can just keep all of your inventory in one singular location versus needing to work with a 3PL, ship it out yourself, have Amazon do this over here, Walmart do this over here, you ship out Shopify, which can get kind of hectic. And so that's going to be reason number 5, which I think is one that many people tend to overlook, that Amazon realistically can be your entire logistics partner end to end. Going off of that directly into number 6, it's just the scalability. With FBA and with utilizing Amazon as your logistics partner through things such as MCF and Amazon warehousing and distribution, as well as sending into Amazon FBA, it allows you a lot more versatility and scalability versus trying to staff your own warehouse, trying to figure out how you're going to actually have all your products stored in your own warehouse. And then on top of that, when it comes to things like Q4, you don't need to hire additional help or anything like that, because Amazon's already going to have that covered for you. So you don't actually have to worry at any point in time whether or not you have to have seasonal workers, all of your workers year round. And if you are somebody who sells a very seasonal product as well, you don't have to worry about just, having people during one time of the year and then not having them another time of the year. It's a lot of operational headache gone. The scalability factor of it is just bar none better than any other option you have out there. Number 7 is going to be the lower shipping costs at scale. First, when people are shipping out 1 or 2 units, it may not make sense for them to use FBA simply because at the end of the day, if you're only shipping out 1 or 2 units at a time, your actual shipping costs probably don't matter. But when you're shipping 50, 100, 200, it really, really adds up very quickly. On average, Amazon FBA shipping is going to be between $3 and $5 to start for something that's not a large and bulky product. Whereas utilizing your own shipping, something like UPS or USPS, on average is going to be $4.50 to $8 per unit. So those differences in shipping costs are crazy different, right? And that is going to be one of those things that eats away at profitability at scale heavily. If you're sending out 1,000 units per month and the difference is $5 versus $7, realistically, you're looking at a $2,000 difference in total profit that could be back in your pocket if you utilize something like Amazon FBA. Now, the one thing to consider with that, obviously, is that you may have also some higher fees here and there, and you can always try and use Amazon shipping, or you can use a software like Vico that may actually work better for you in the long run, or at least in the short period when you're trying to get up to that unit percentage where it makes sense from a scalability factor, but it still is where Amazon FBA is going to be better from a scale factor overall. Now, number 8 is a bit of an odd one, and it goes back to number 1 with having that Prime badge. And specifically with that having that Prime badge, I talked about having conversion, but the bigger aspect here is not just the conversion boost that it has from a trust factor, it's the fact that on mobile, Amazon auto puts the Prime badge on. So when you are shopping on mobile as a consumer, you'll actually notice if you go on Amazon, you search for something, the Prime badge is automatically already checked on. And so if you are somebody who is selling a product that likely would be good for most people who are searching on mobile, and your core demographic is typically going to be a mobile buyer versus a desktop buyer, which over 70% of all people who buy on Amazon now are, then you really, really need to have that Prime badge. And to get it, again, you need to be FBA. People are going to be shopping on their phones forever now, and Amazon is not going to, at any point in time, likely turn off that automatic Prime badge feature when people are searching. And so it's definitely an area that if you want more clicks and you want a higher conversion overall, and even higher impression share, so if you're not seeing your impression share be very high on FBM, it's likely because you have a lot of mobile viewership that isn't even seeing your product because you are FBM right now. Now, number 9 is actually one that I personally say to every single person. It's one reason as to why we work so well the way we do here at My Amazon Guy, and it is removing different obstacles in your way. And what I mean by that specifically is that when you are dealing with logistics, whether it be a 3PL, whether it be manufacturer, whether it be just, your own warehouse, anything like that, that is logistics nightmares, and those are just going to be bogging down the back of your head. The things that actually move a business forward at the end of the day are focusing on your products and your marketing. And if you are spending any of your time trying to scale a business and you are thinking about anything other than those two things, that takes away from you being able to grow your overall business and, on top of that, your overall revenue, right? And so when you're looking at logistics in general, if you can just streamline as much of it as possible, I am always going to be a proponent of that. That is why we always recommend FBA to the majority of our clients, because it takes one thing out of the mix that you really have to worry about. And on top of that, we tend to actually do all the forecasting for them, all of the actual heavy lifting, even on the Amazon FBA part, where our clients don't have to think about any of it, because again, the things they should be focused on is actually growing their business and growing their brand. Now, for number 10, I feel like I'm probably going to be beating a dead horse here, but this is still just the number 1 thing, and it's just the trust factor. People go to Amazon because they like to buy on Amazon, and many consumers at the end of the day actually think they are buying from Amazon. They don't think of you as a seller. They don't think of you as a brand. They think they are buying your product from Amazon. They don't look at who's selling it. They don't think about that majority of the time. They think they're buying from Amazon. That Prime badge gives that trust factor. Again, it is something I am going to beat over and over and over, because the general way that consumers look is they look at Amazon as the actual seller, not as the person who owns the product. So if you are ever thinking about the aspect of how can you potentially look at Amazon and say, how can I make myself look more trustworthy on this platform? The Prime badge is the number one way for that. And the easiest way to get the Prime badge is just through FBA. Again, I would not touch SFP when it comes to trying to get that Prime badge and that trust factor. Now, that being said, I've gone over 10 different reasons why it is FBA is so important for the majority of brands, but there are a couple of factors and areas where I typically am not going to recommend FBA, and I would recommend you stay FBM. The very first one is if you have an oversized and bulky products, especially a very, very large one. FBA is expensive at the end of the day. Between the inbound shipping costs, between how much it costs to store your product, even with AWD, that's still expensive. And then on top of that, Amazon shipping rates are fantastic, but it doesn't make sense if you're adding all of those storage fees, everything else on top of that, especially for large products. And so if you are somebody who sells a large and bulky product, I'm typically not going to recommend that you actually send that into FBA because of the fact that you're likely going to be making less of a profit margin than you would, even with the additional benefits that we mentioned before. The second reason I would typically recommend people not do FBA and stick to FBM would be if you have something that's a slow moving inventory. Now, typically bulky and just expensive products in general tend to fall into both of those categories where they're both bulky and they're slow moving at the same time. And that's where the storage fees tend to eat you. But if you are somebody who just piecemeals a lot of their inventory, then typically FBM is just going to be better for you. Because again, you don't want to pay for long-term storage at Amazon. And that actually dings both your product and your account if you keep things stored for too long on the platform. My third option here is going to be anybody who is selling something that's high value and fragile. Amazon is known to break products, lose products, and with their policy around returns especially, it can be really, really bad if you have a product that is fragile and has the potential to break, because a lot of customers a lot of times are going to end up returning it. You're going to have a higher return rate in general, and you want to be able to curb and control that a little bit better. Mainly, you're not going to be able to fully control the process because customers will still want to return the product. It still could get damaged, but it is a risk mitigation tactic. And so you have to weigh the odds on whether or not staying FBM and being able to control and risk mitigate a lot of that with your fragile item versus going on to FBA and having that additional conversion is worth it. Right? It's always going to be a dollar amount that makes it worth it to go on to FBA for that. But a lot of times when somebody has something like that, I am going to recommend that they just stay FBM because it's going to be a lot simpler for them overall. Now, the final reason I would say not to do FBA, out of everything else I said, even including all the stuff I said why to do FBA, if you stay FBM, the number one reason I would typically recommend it is going to end up being if you already have a large fulfillment network in place. If you're somebody who already has a lot of different fulfillment centers, you're already working with a very large 3PL, you have product all over the country in the US or anywhere that you are, even globally, that's going to be the time that I typically would say it's not great to switch over to FBA entirely. What I would recommend in those situations is add a little bit of inventory into FBA to get that Prime badge and to get a little bit extra conversion boost for your overall ranking on Amazon's algorithm, but keep your FBM in reserve so that once that FBA runs out, you're not fully out of stock on the product. And one of the major aspects here, even though I do recommend FBA for everyone, I actually recommend a dual front system where people tend to put the majority of their inventory in FBA, but they still have a reserve in FBM so that their product never accidentally runs out of stock. So that is the number one sin on Amazon. So if you've been wondering whether or not it makes sense for you to go into FBA or stay FBM, hopefully you found some value in this video. If you're somebody who's still just struggling with the idea, you can actually head over to our website, myamazonguy.com. We have a few different directories and resource guides that might help you when it comes to figuring out your own internal logistics. And if you're still struggling, feel free to book a call with one of my Amazon experts at myamazonguy.com/book.